welcome to another session of the Fragments Silicon Reviews. We've got three games up this week. The first of which is a brawler called Zeus Begins. Well, let me see. This is something I'm trying to get across diplomatically, but let's see. Zeus Begins is a brawler that works and that exists. I guess I should explain that in a bit more detail, but I mean, that's kind of what I'm up against. This is about the most simplistic brawler I've ever encountered. That's including stuff on the NES. Like, just in terms of moveset, there are, you can punch, you can kick, and you've got a special lightning power-up. Which kind of acts in the way Golden Axe magic does. A little dwarf thing walks around and you collect, in this case, lightning bolts. You can build the power block up to 4 levels, each level being more powerful, and that's it. There's no jump attack here. Like I said, this is basic even for brawler mechanics. Also, the actual punches and kicks are a little weird. Punches are your forward attack, kicks are your back attack. So if you got somebody behind you, you need to kick.
Can you, turn around, or...?
Yeah, you can turn around. It's just if somebody's directly behind you, it's probably easier to kick.
Okay.
Yeah. The difference being the punches are the more powerful of the two attacks in the sense that you can land multiple before an enemy goes down. Landing a kick on an enemy, they'll go down in one hit. It just, it'll take more kicks to ultimately down an enemy. Kicks are basically if somebody's behind you, otherwise you're really not going to use kicks. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's really the story of Zeus Begins, outside of the actual story, which is literally about how Zeus began. This is basically a very cartoony retelling of Zeus's ascent to King of the Gods and defeating Cronus. Mm-hmm. Cronus is the final boss, but trust me, it plays out a lot less than actual mythology did. To say the least. And you can, a lot of the enemies are based off of Greek mythology. You got satyrs, you got minotaurs, the whole 9 yards. Also in the game, you've got shooter levels. For whatever reason, about 3 of the levels are broken up by being, instead of extremely basic brawler levels, they're extremely basic vertical shmup levels. And the whole thing is fine in a technical sense. It all works and is, not awful in the sense that, things were broken or anything. It's just, this is extremely rudimentary stuff on both sides of the equation. And, that's kind of a problem because that gets to the other facet of this game. And that's the price. This game clocks in at $10. $2 would be a stretch for this game. $10? That's you could go buy Castle Crashers for that right now. You could buy, no, seriously. You Castle Crashers for $6. I know that's a fairly old brawler, but it's it's $6, and if you don't own it, that's a fantastic brawler. This is $9, and I'm Double Dragon on the NES looks like fucking River City Ransom next to this. I know River City Ransom's on the NES, but trust me, River City Ransom was a much more involved brawling game. One of the reasons why people liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, if it reminds me of a brawler on the NES, it'd be the fucking Renegade. If anyone played that.
I mean, didn't River City Ransom have like a secret shop in one of the underpasses where you could like fucking buy Excalibur or some shit like that?
I think so. I don't remember offhand, but I mean, Renegade and River City Ransom are actually connected because they're part of the same series.
The Kunio-kun series?
Yeah. It's just Renegade is really, really shit. Seriously, it's something I'll explain later, but yeah, this game, like, it's not bad in terms of like hit detection and basic elements, but that's about all this game has. Even if it does break it up with an entire genre shift, that genre shift is also very, very basic. It's not helped by the fact that the game can be completed in 45 minutes. I know because I completed the game in 45 minutes. There's also no two-player option. I'm like, am I getting across to how fucking basic this shit is? Just, missing out on, standard conventions that have been there since, like, pretty much the inception of the genre.
Mm-hmm.
For good reason. Now, outside of that, the art is okay if giving off a slightly slightly amateurish vibe. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was just done by a hobbyist concern or whatever, but I could be wrong. I'm just saying the art is kind of iffy. But that's a lesser concern than the actual fact that this is like everything people complain about brawlers, being too short, being too repetitious, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I don't have a lot more to say about it because, once again, it's an extremely simple package. Simple and overpriced. Like, as a game, it's like I have to go below average because, once again, even though all of the brawler mechanics work, it's still missing so much of what, like even 8-bit brawlers had. And there's just no excuse for that. Mm-hmm. It's like, I get that this was probably developed by one guy or whatever, but I'm like, not even a 2-player mode. I mean, that's a bit...
Are you thinking co-op or versus?
Co-op.
Yeah,
there's
co-op.
there's no co-op or versus.
Yeah, co-op is a big part of the appeal of brawlers.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I said, we are talking about shit that even, like, very early brawlers had. I mean, yeah, I know the NES version of Double Dragon didn't have 2-player co-op, but once again, there are NES brawlers that did, like River City Ransom. Right. Anyway, overall ranking, 3 out of 10. I have to ding an extra point because the price point is so fucking outrageous. It's actually contemptible. Like if this game were being sold from $1 to max maybe $5, I could see some sort of justification. But this game going a full 10, no, there's no possible justification for it. Like, and given that overall prospect, yeah, one of the more sour experiences I played this year. Thankfully, it was brief.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, on that dour note, that'll about do it for Zeus Begins here. Be sure to tune in after the break. Galix will be reviewing a game called Sagebrush. for the Nintendo Switch.